another episode from Times Square, New York, New York. Enjoy the show. Hey guys, welcome to Classic Plastik. My name is Thomas, and thank you for tuning in for another episode. Today's haul is a pretty sizable one. It's not one of the largest ones I've had, but it does include a ton of games for various consoles from various gens. So let's jump right in and let's see what we got. We're going to start with the Nintendo products, and I only picked up one this haul, and that is Resident Evil 0. Most people have mixed feelings about Resident Evil 0 just because some of the mechanics are changed. You don't have these vault boxes, and basically if you don't need an item, you just leave it on the ground and come back for it. So it made the game a little more difficult. I think it made it more original. It made it stand out from the other ones. And I was just really happy to pick this up since, Resident Evil Revelations 2 comes out March 27th. And then the remake for Resident Evil 1 is out on PSN and all the network providers such as Xboxes, Live, PSN, and all that. So very happy to pick it up. Next, we're moving on to Microsoft products. We're starting off with the original Xbox. And first game I got is a sealed EA's Rugby 2005. I used to play rugby, and the Wallabies are my favorite team. So when I saw this game, which you don't normally see too often, I knew I had to pick it up. I think I paid $2.49 for it, so extremely happy I got that. I got my hands on that. Next game is Galleon. I picked up Galleon. It's made by Atlas, so most games made by Atlas tend to be pretty good. I picked up Galleon just because it was cheap, and I think I paid $3 for it. And then the next game is Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. As a child, I didn't get to play it, but I did hear about it a lot, and the people who played it loved it, so that's that. Next game I picked up for $3 as well is The Club. This is one of the games that Metal Jesus recommended as a hidden gem on the 360, so if you see it for cheap, pick it up. Moving on to, actually I have another Nintendo product here. I found a boxed Game Boy Advanced Video, and these weren't too popular. I still have my SpongeBob one, but this one is the Game Boy Advanced Video movie, so most of them were episodes of your favorite TV show. This one is an actual movie, and that's Shrek the movie. This is the first one. Now, of course, the video quality on the Game Boy Advance was nowhere near DVD or VHS quality, but nonetheless, this is a pretty cool little piece of history on the Advance. I mean, it was pretty strong for its day, and of course, having this movie, the movie's awesome, so I couldn't complain. I think I picked it up for $5, and it's sealed. Moving on to the PSP, I picked up a couple of awesome games and movies. First one is The Punisher, the movie. And for you guys that watched the last episode, like I said, I picked up The Punisher on the Xbox, the original one. I beat it, and I enjoyed every minute of it. If you get your hands on the game or the movie, you're bound to have a good time. And I love The Punisher movie. Some people said they didn't like it, but I mean, I guess it's up to everyone's opinion. The next game I actually had been hunting down for about a year and a half, and I just couldn't get my hands on it on either port, the PS2 or the PSP version. And that game is Snoopy versus the Red Baron. And the really funny thing about this game is that it deals with like Nazi, it deals with like a Nazi army, and it's rated E for everyone. So I just thought it was funny, but when it comes to dogfighting and just an airplane arcade type of game, this game is outstanding. I think I have about 3 to 4 hours into it, and I'm just having tons of fun. I mean, the Snoopy gang is there, the voiceovers are there. Maybe not the originals, but they sound very close, and just tons of fun to play. Very challenging, so if you can find it, I highly recommend you pick it up. I paid $15 for it, which is, I mean, almost retail for it, so, you know, but I saw it, I had to buy it. The next movie I got, I think I bought for $1, and that is Richard Pryor's Live on Sunset Boulevard. For you guys that are really into comedy, this is probably one of the masterpieces. Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy back in the 80s pioneered what is comedy today. And I mean, this one is probably one of the funniest stand-up comedies you'll ever watch. Now, keep in mind, this has mature content, so I wouldn't recommend a 10-year-old watching it. It's more for the adult community or the mature viewers. This next game I had been stalking for the better part of a year. It was fluctuating between $29 to $49 at GameStop. I just couldn't afford the price tag, even though the game is worth it. But GameStop has this huge sale where they're setting all the PSP games on clearance. So it's heavily discounted, and I bought it for $13.97, and that is Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2 Innocent Sin. This is a sealed copy. It still has the stickers that keep it sealed. And the really cool thing is that, of course, it comes in this beautiful cardboard box, but it also brings in a bonus soundtrack disc. And I mean, this is just awesome. I'm a huge collector for the PSP, and this game is just absolutely awesome. So it was a no-brainer. At $13, I had to buy it. Now, where to keep all these games? I bought a couple. Every single time I see like aftermarket or third-party cases for the 3DS, the DS, the Advance, the PSP, I normally buy it because they're $1 or $2. And you know, sometimes you come across loose copies. I normally try to stay away from them, but you know, if the game's really good or I'm just having a hard time finding it, then I'll settle for the loose copy. So I bought these PSP cases. They're kind of beat up, but for a couple of dollars each, you know, it's not a bad deal. This one holds 2, and it's clear. And then I bought this one that's in the shape of a PSP, which I really like. This one was actually cheaper than this one. This one was $2.50. This one was $1, and it holds more. I think I already have games in here. Yeah, so I have a couple of games in here. Nirvana's Nevermind, Pulp Fiction, and then Patapon 3, and that's a pretty rare game. But I don't have the case for it, and it holds 8 games in total in a hard case, so you can't go wrong. Whenever you find storage for these games, make sure you buy them, because the last thing you want is your games getting damaged. Moving on to the last portion of the haul, I stopped by a pawn shop and got this for about $3, and that's Toy Commander on the Dreamcast. You don't normally see Dreamcast games out in the wild, or at least where I live. It's complete in case or complete in box, and the game is pristine, so I'd almost call this mint. Next game we got is Sega Sports NFL 97. This is a Sega Saturn game. Now, this is probably the 4th copy of this game I have, but although the game isn't worth very much, the case is. And this is the big deal with these games. You can't find these cases just anywhere. You have to kind of hunt them down, and when you do hunt them down, the hinges are broken, the case is cracked, or they have stress marks. And this one is in fairly good condition. The only thing it's missing is the styrofoam here, but like I said, you know, when I trade these in, they don't normally look at the game. They're looking for the case. So, you know, you can gut the case and repurpose it for a much more rare game, or you could just keep it for this. But I have 4 copies of this, and whenever I see a Sega Saturn game, whether the case is broken or not, I try to pick it up just because they're getting hard to find and people really love the Sega Saturn. Next game I got is a little older, and that is Afterburner for the Sega Master System. Most of the games for the Sega Master System that I have are complete in box. Now, I'm not saying I'm one of those die-hard collectors that if it's not in a box or it's not in a case, then they don't buy it. But I normally try to get it with the case. But if not, I mean, we're talking about a 20, 30-year-old game. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and Afterburner is an awesome game. So, you know, it's a cheap game, and without the case, it's alright. I'm not stressing. Talking about boxed games, this next console, you don't normally find too many boxed games for it. So when I saw these, I knew I had to have them. I think for the whole lot, I paid, about like $15, and it brought like 5 games, which I've showed you. It brought 5 games, a little box where I can put all my games. It's a wood box. But moving right along to these games, I have Miss Pac-Man for the Game Gear, and unfortunately this box is a little beat up. It's a little rough, but you know, when you come down to it, it's cardboard. It's not even fine cardboard. It's not laminated. It's just plain Jane cardboard. So I mean, what can you expect? You know, these boxes are going to get beat up if they don't get tossed. So, you know, I'm just really happy to see these. I really love the purple that they got going on. Purple is one of my favorite colors. But just to give you an idea, this is dated 1993. So this box is over 20 years old. So, you know, you can't ask for much more than this. But I did find a game that was in better condition. And unfortunately, the subject matter of the game itself is not a very sought-after title, but nonetheless, I'll take it. And that is Caesar's Palace on the Game Gear. And, oh wow, that just little punch to the clip up here fell, but that's cool. Caesar's Palace on the Game Gear. Caesar's Palace was a very popular game back in the day. It came out on the Game Gear, Super Nintendo, the Genesis. I don't think it came out on the Master System, but in the early 90s, Caesar's Palace was very popular. So this is the game, and you know, I wasn't too thrilled about the game, but the box is just beautiful. I mean, there's very little stress, you know, very little wear for the age of it. So, you know, I thought I might as well give it a good home. And so that's all I got for this month. I apologize for videos going on a monthly basis. Honestly, you know, my classes are just kind of piling up on me. Work is piling up. So, you know, I'm going to keep doing these videos and keep bringing you these hauls. Hopefully when the workload kind of dies down, I'll get to making videos every other week. But until then, game on, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Klassic Plastik. Thank you for watching.